loved one dies, the impact can be devastating. For a grieving child, sharing those feelings is often difficult.
My mom died. It was about 2 years ago.
They're very conscious that it makes people feel uncomfortable to talk about loss.
I don't like telling a lot of people because it's kind of...
People have this feeling, put your pain away. It's really too much for me.
But that's not what kids want to do. They want to feel free to talk about their grief.
Would you like to know who died in my family?
Sure.
My dad died, and then my goldfish died.
So who can they talk to? Communicating with peers is not always an option.
They don't feel comfortable talking to their peers because that would be really weird. Right. Kids don't want to be different than their peers.
They can't talk to their teachers.
They're rarely going to talk to their teachers because even their teachers said vibes that this is uncomfortable for them.
On Father's Day, it's the hardest thing because in school you're always making like little ties for your dads.
Most teachers would not even think to say, make a card for the person you love.
They don't want to upset their parents.
Why can't kids talk to their parents? Or if there's a remaining parent? Sometimes they do, but very often that parent is a grieving person also.
So the kids worry about the parents, and so they say, well, I don't want to upset my mom.
And taking a grieving child to a psychologist could send the wrong message.
When a child is taken to a doctor's office, there's by implication, you're going to a doctor, there must be some sickness involved.
For two South Florida psychologists, the answer was to create an environment where grieving children can interact freely with each other and share their experiences.
My name's Rebecca, and my dad died, and I'm 11. You get to have fun.
Yeah? What kind of fun? What do you do that's so much fun?
You play games. You have a lot of company that has felt the same way that you have. Like, I'm not the only one that loses somebody.
She doesn't feel so alone about it. She feels more normal.
Sometimes, well, at school, sometimes my friends kind of make they say some comments about him, and I get really mad. And then when I'm here, it's just nobody can make fun of you or anything because then they'll just be making fun of themselves.
They are talking about what goes on at the Children's Bereavement Center. Meetings begin and end with the children saying who they lost.
My name's Sebastian and my mom died when I was 4 years old. My name's Steven. My mom died when she was 28. My brother died.
How old are you?
6 and 5. My dad died. My goldfish died. My name is Christopher. I'm 7 years old, and my grandpa died.
Grieving is a very normal process. We're not talking about pathology. We're talking about something normal. Something happened to somebody, and we believe it's within every child's capacity to grieve. That they don't necessarily need grief lessons, or they need an environment, and that's what we create.
We see children who overproduce. They want to then become the parent in the family.
I was surprised she didn't even call me. She waited until the day to tell me. My name's Sean, and this is Sabrina. Our mother died, and I was 4, and I was about 1.
So how do you talk with a child about death?
It really is okay to talk about the D word. And you know, we have definitions for dead. It means the body has stopped working.
Children truly need information to master the situation. They truly need to feel that they can trust the people who are in their lives and who will be there to give them that information.
I asked him what happened, and he said, my mom died, and I started to cry too.
I think it's very important to be honest with them. And I think that they find comfort in the honesty because they know they can trust you.
For a child, they have lots of questions about death. They have questions that we can't possibly answer.
Adults need to learn how to be quiet.
What we tend to do is let the kids answer. Just say to them, what do you think? Rather than really try to supply an answer, because when you do that, the door opens.
A little question as, well, what do you think? and it's totally changed my conversation with her.
My dad died because he had a stomach ache.
Kids need objects, especially early on, to connect with.
My dad has the scrunchie, but I used to have it, but I don't know where he put it anymore.
Sometimes the kids don't feel like talking. The center has an I pass rule.
My name is Daniel, and I'm 6 years old, and I pass.
We have found, especially with the younger children, because they kind of like, saying, I pass. I don't want to talk, I'm passing.
What do you talk about?
Who died?
Do you want to talk about that?
What did you say? I said pass.
No matter how many times they say that, once the circle is gone, 2 or 3 kids, then they're ready to talk.
Surviving parents and family members are asked to join their children at the center.
We are offering a concurrent adult group, which addresses some of the adult issues, which helps them learn through their children's eyes what they're experiencing.
It's helping me deal with her, because sometimes it's very overwhelming.
My youngest daughter, who is 5 now, I've noticed that she's become less aggressive.
I find myself being more open with her.
Grieving is a natural, ongoing response to loss. As children grow and change, so does their grief.
If parents or adults are talking about this kind of a burden, why should we assume that children don't feel this way?
So we need to be sensitive that children grieve differently than adults. They dabble in their grief. So they may look very happy for a minute, and then they may walk in and they may say, Daddy, and then they may go back out. They're not being foolish or insensitive. That's the way they do it.
When you put kids in a group with other kids, something very magical happens. They relax. They play.
I'll be right back, folks.
Let it out and move on.
He just came and whispered in my ear that my mom died, and it was like I was struck by lightning.
Missing what's gone.
My aunt's dog got run over.
See, life carries on.
He died when I was 5.
Her dad was her hero. She was Daddy's little girl.
See, life carries on and on and on. Life carries on in the people I meet, and everyone that's out on the street.
Is this thing on?